Welcome back. New this morning, the U.S. is sharpening its squeeze on the Iranian economy, imposing sweeping sanctions on a major Chinese oil refinery and dozens of other ships directly tied to Iran's shadow fleet of aging tankers. One of China's largest independent petrochemical refineries reportedly received Iranian cargoes of oil from sanctioned vessels since 2023. It comes as new U.S. data shows China stored more crude oil than any other country prior to the Iran conflict, stockpiling nearly 1.5 billion barrels. Joining me now is the Gatestone Institute senior fellow Gordon Chang. And Gordon, it's great to see you this morning. I want to get your take on what the U.S. is doing specifically to squeeze the Iran economy. They're going from the military warfare to economic warfare. You've got all of those things that they're doing in terms of sanctions on the Chinese vessels, but then they are also freezing $344 million in crypto tied to Iran and warning countries like China, if you do business with Iran, you won't have access to the U.S. financial system. Your reaction?
This is great, and it's important for the United States to start imposing secondary sanctions, and you should start, as the Treasury has done, with China, because China is the main criminal here. The important point, though, is that we have seen in the past that when we impose sanctions on Chinese entities, the Chinese center, the Communist Party, it just changes this, it moves the sanctioned activity to non-sanctioned entities and starts all over again. This is sanctions whack-a-mole, and they did it with regard to our sanctions on China's support for Ukraine. So the important thing here is for the United States to sanction all refiners, for instance, all vessels. We do that, we really cut off the China support for Iran. And this is, of course, in anticipation of President Trump's meeting with Xi Jinping in the middle of May. It's important that the United States make it clear to Xi Jinping that we will go further with sanctions if they end up moving sanctioned activity to other entities.